Hello, everybody. My name is Frank Feltens, Japan Foundation Assistant Curator of Japanese Art at the Freer Gallery of Art and Arthur M. Sackler Gallery, the Smithsonian's National Museum of Asian Art. Today, I would like to invite you to commemorate with us through art, literature, and history the great East Japan earthquake and tsunami that devastated parts of Japan on March 11th, 2011, exactly 10 years ago today. As we honor the many lives that were lost and remember the devastation whose after effects are still felt today, we should also remember the great resilience of the Japanese people and the stunning beauty of the Tohoku region. In times of trouble and uncertainty, works of art can be a beacon of hope and strength. When the earthquake and tsunami struck 10 years ago, the Freer and Sackler quickly installed an exhibition to commemorate the victims. In that small display, this painting here by Tawaraya Sotatsu was chosen to mark one of the Tohoku region's most scenic spots, the Matsushima Islands. Literally called Pine Islands, the cluster of foliated islets off the coast of Sendai in Miyagi Prefecture for centuries have been sung in poetry and beckon travelers from near and far. The famous poet from the late 17th century, Matsuo Basho, took off from Edo to the far north of Japan's Honshu Island, lured by the Elysian call of Matsushima. In the preface of his travel diary, The Narrow Road to the Deep North, the aging Basho writes, quote, "I seem to be possessed by the spirits of wanderlust, and they all but deprived me of my senses. The guardian spirits of the road beckoned, and I could not settle down to work. I patched my torn trousers and changed the cord on my bamboo hat. To strengthen my legs for the journey I had mosha burned on my shins. By then, I could think of nothing but the moon at Matsushima." End quote. Basho, like many poets and travelers before him, understood the beauty of the Tohoku region and submitted himself to its allure. Although old and frail, he packed his bag and set out to follow the call of Matsushima. Once he arrived there and cast eyes upon the subject of his desire and imagination, words failed him to describe the beauty of the sight. He exclaims in his famous poem, quote, "Matsushima, oh, Matsushima, Matsushima." And in Japanese, "Matsushima-ya, ah, Matsushima-ya, Matsushima-ya." End quote. This cry of awe established one of his most famous haiku poems. The pines, islands, and sea at Matsushima made the seasoned poet lose his composure. But his loss for words speaks volumes, as does the tempestuous sea surrounding the pine-clad islands in Tawaraya Sotatsu's screen. Half a century before Basho's time, Sotatsu reimagined the essence of the ocean and its interplay with land and sky. For hundreds of years and into our own time, Matsushima remained a central theme in the creative imagination of artists. In the modern age, print artists like Kawase Hasui reconfigured the actual site in Miyagi Prefecture into dreamy vistas that departed from the sumptuous abstraction of Sotatsu. Hasui and others recast Matsushima into a fusion of photorealism and idealization. The historicity of Matsushima continues to be a part of its artistic manifestations. Here, Hasui visualizes Basho's imagined vista of Matsushima in the moonlight, 200 years after Basho's own time. As we are gazing at the silhouettes of Matsushima under the moon, let us pause for a moment and remember the perpetuity of the place, and with it that of the entire Tohoku region. In spite of their proximity to the earthquake and tsunami, the Matsushima Islands experienced only small damage in the March 11, 2011 disaster. In so many ways, these artworks and the Matsushima site itself are symbols of the resilience and continuity of the Tohoku region. Now, as we commemorate the 10th anniversary of the catastrophe, we are reminded that even in the darkest hour, there is light and there is a tomorrow. In the words of Basho, "O Matsushima," I want to conclude by thanking the Embassy of Japan in Washington, D.C. for co-creating this video and for allowing us to mark this occasion together, and for celebrating an unshakable friendship between the United States and Japan with us. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and stay safe.